Hello everyone, thank you for coming today and thank you to Tank for putting on this amazing event. So my name's Edd Wilson. I lead the organic growth at Frontify. So we're a digital asset management platform focusing on brand assets, and we work with the likes of OpenAI, Uber, Budweiser and global brands across the world to manage their brand consistency and organize their assets as well. I want to start off this quote. So anyone that's been involved in websites and search, this one really stood out for me from Mike King, and he's the agency founder in New York. And he said, we need to start being the janitors of the internet and start evolving into relevance engineers. And although I'm not going to change my job title anytime soon, I do see a lot of truth in this. When the web started to shift in towards HTTPS, we started to educate people on why they need to do this. It was a critical ranking factor at the time to make sure that websites were discoverable. Google fed this through the search community, and we were working with developers and websites to ensure that this was across our clients' and brands' websites. When social graph tags started to become a thing, funnily enough, it wasn't the social marketing managers, it was actually the SEOs, the people involved in search and websites, who are actually forcing people to update their page titles and everything to include that within social graph tags as well. So a big cleaning up job at that time back then. Even then, going back to Core Web Vitals, again, we were instructed to start educating people on why page speed matters, and it's going to be a critical ranking factor to how people discover your websites within search as well. So everyone should care about this because the search and discovery is changing. And again, it's more than search, it's more than websites, it's more than discovery. It's how brands are being surfaced, interacted with, and understood moving forward. So what we know that discovery and search is changing. So today I'm going to discuss what we're doing about it. I'm doing this in-house at the moment, but I'm also advising fast-growing startups and global brands and how they can adapt their strategies moving forward as well. So first, a few things. I think, and as many of the talks have touched upon today, strong organic footprint has enabled visibility LLMs. We know that the likes of ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc., interact with these indexes quite regularly to surface this information. So if you have a good, strong organic footprint, it's more likely to result in visibility within these platforms. We've heard a lot of things such as like GEO, AEO, and everything like that. I often refer to it as answer engine optimization. And does it equal that? I would say yes, but no. So I actually think that SEO, success has led to a lot of visibility and traction in LLMs. But I also think there's things that you can be investing in that can help influence how people search in these platforms as well. And I'll cover some of those topics later. And what I would also say is that we're very much focused on the long term. As Charlie mentioned earlier, there are like little quick hacks, and what we're seeing at the moment that is able to enable this visibility in LLMs. But I would also say that these can change overnight. So it could be that you put a lot of time and effort into certain things and things change. And we need to focus on good marketing, right? As Martin highlighted earlier, we need to think about how people are searching and what's going to stand the test of time to influence this as well. The reason we started to invest in Reddit, not just because we know it was an AI citation, we actually saw it a lot in our attribution. A lot of people were saying, we discovered Frontify in Reddit. We were looking for a brand guidelines platform. We discovered Frontify because people were answering with that. We had questions around this already. So we knew whilst it was an important impact for generative search, we knew that actually contributing this will have a significant impact on our pipeline as well. We built a community page on this. We've took a lot of harsh lessons around getting moderators banned and things like that, but it allowed us to actually use this as a content distribution platform. And also, if anyone has any questions, they don't always have to go to support. They can ask something like this, and some people that are using the Frontify platform can also answer these questions as well. We also set up Reddit monitoring as well. This guy who's answered at the bottom has become a bit of a meme in the company now in terms of, you can tell we've actually thought long and hard about the name that we titled him, but down from Frontify often comes up as a HubSpot referral firms in terms of how they've discovered this. So as Charlie mentioned, we don't try and go in there in every conversation. Whenever Frontify are mentioned, we try and monitor it and see when we're able to contribute to that. But we've had some really great conversations with people there that are asking technical questions around the platform or even our DAM category or any software category, and we're able to be a voice in this and help influence the narrative around our brand. But maybe don't go this far. You can see here, Ramp are actually recruiting for a professional Redditor as the company to help with this. YouTube as a search engine. I also think with this area, a lot of, I guess, what we've always traditional referred to is blog posts, content, things like that. But I actually think SEO has a lot of adaptability to video as well, in terms of what video content we should be creating. Figma has over 300,000 views in a video that's just 2 years old around design systems. They could have written a piece of content around this, but actually they've created a more interactive video guide where they can showcase their product. And I can bet you this video had probably more an impact than an actual guide or content living on their website with, yes, you get the attribution from the web traffic, but I feel like this does more for the brand. And I think there's been a lot of search behavior in terms of how Figma have been constructing their YouTube channel around this as well. We've actually started investing in video, not just because we feel like it can influence in LLMs, but our videos have been started showing this. We invested in video because it gives us more of a chance to reflect our brand, show our product in this area as well. And what we've also started to do is taking our high-performing content pages and actually starting to bring video at the forefront. And we've seen engagement rates skyrocket because people are more likely to read, to interact with the video, more likely to read a long-form guide. So this has really paid dividends for us. A lot of people say, we don't want to create video. We've not really got an interesting topic to talk about. This B2B SaaS company focuses on packaging for direct-to-consumer goods. You can see here, a lot of agencies would have justified them to invest in like definition terms, write content around what are cherry locks, etc., and stuff like that, and capture traffic. They actually pivoted this towards YouTube, and you can kind of see something I really love about this as well. They started to unbox popular like direct consumer companies like Liquid Death and actually showcasing this. If you actually watch the videos, it's just them with an iPhone camera and just unboxing it. That would be the only cost to actually recording and setting this up, and they've gained thousands of views across this, more than any blog post would be across their website. A really great way to think about how you can create video without just referring to content on a specific website as well. Another thing that we've started to invest in is user pathing through strategic content as well. So we understand that now, like investing in terms that can be summarized by AI probably isn't of use to us. We need to think about when they're searching for that specific area, they're searching for that specific topic, what are they trying to do next? For ourselves, we create brand guidelines for popular brands. So a lot of people will be asking in ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc., what are the best brand guidelines on there and need inspiration. We actually created a directory around this because we know that people will be searching brand guidelines, but they're likely to see examples out there. So we created this directory. Can you see how many times we're mentioned through this specific thing? And it's because all these are our customers and we've referenced them. So we've gained so much visibility, slightly biased maybe, but it's a great way for us to capture visibility in this area where people are looking for inspiration. And this is a significant traffic impact onto our website and pipeline as well. Pivoting from this, like I said, whilst I've been doing a lot of stuff in-house at the moment, I've also been investing into advising a lot of brands as well. You probably would have seen most recently over the past few months, like products displaying in ChatGPT outputs. But most recently, they made this announcement where you can start integrating your shopping feeds within ChatGPT. So anyone that's been involved within search for a while now will know about managing your merchant feeds. But ChatGPT have actually released their own merchant feeds, so you can go away and study all the documentation that they're looking to ask for. And this is, I think, is just a little example where SEO may differ towards these inputs here. So take, for example, I need a waterproof trail running shoes with good cushion for £150 that will arrive by Friday. So here, ChatGPT isn't matching keywords, it's matching the product category that we can list, it's matching the description, it's matching the price, and it's matching the delivery estimate there. So what I would actually suggest is aiming for 100% field completion for if it's relevant. And I actually bet every optional field is more of an answer to question to fulfill that filter as well. So they actually have a description there. So I'd actually treat it like a knowledge base. And by the way, that description has a 5,000 character limit in it. So you can get a lot of context into that to really enrich your data, and structuring everything to build your data motor as well. So material, color, size and weight, etc. Really encourage anyone that's in commerce to really review the documentation and set these fields up. I would also say that SEO has shifted to middle of the funnel. So yes, I still see value in top of the funnel areas, but I would say it's increasingly too hard to attribute the pound or the dollar towards what you're actually creating around that. So if there's like, traditionally we would have written about like digital asset management a lot and tried to capture traffic through that, but there's so many brands talking about this and it's all synthesized and almost comes to like a definition. A lot of our value is actually understanding how we can turn that topic in towards the middle of the funnel. So what I would actually suggest, and as highlighted there, is really invest in your solution use case pages. So understand what kind of industries that you're working with, what's the use case of your product, whether it be a SaaS or an e-commerce product, and understand how it helps that user and documenting this across the website. We've done the same. We've tried to understand how we help industries and use cases. A lot of the time we're finding prospects are uploading their briefs into ChatGPT now. So they'll be listing things like we're a hospitality brand, where we work in travel, etc. So we need to make sure that this information is clear across our website, and we've put a lot of investment into this as well. And I would actually say this is a really key way to equate return on investment through ChatGPT, because you can actually track obviously the traffic through these areas and the conversion value for it as well. We also helped level our integration pages up in there. So a key integration area is that a lot of people are trying to integrate their brand guidelines with Figma. We invested in our integration pages, so that will be classed as middle of the funnel for us, and we're able to influence these AI overviews for anyone looking for this area. Another interesting area is quite a few tools that do this now. I've been recently using ChatGPT Path, so you can actually download this on the Google Chrome store. And when ChatGPT performs a live web index search, so when it says searching, you can actually understand the queries that ChatGPT runs. So for example, this search here is looking for like the best cocktail dressers that you'd recommend, and it'll actually list out the queries that it goes away and search. So start conducting searches in your field and actually understanding what queries is ChatGPT searching and what's that influencing to make sure that we're able to be visible in that SERP. A really effective way to understand topics and keywords around this area. Another area for us is like if you're in the B2B industry, it's been common practice now to invest in competitor comparison pages. The reason we do this, because like I said, people have started to upload their briefs into ChatGPT and asking who the best platforms are. We go against our competitors quite regularly. People look to compare features, etc., and stuff like that. For us, it's really important that we own the narrative around this. A lot of people say, well, yeah, this is going to be biased, but I would actually say we are biased, but we're being fair with a lot of features in this specific thing. It'll be worse that we rely on information across the internet that's incorrect or that we don't agree with in this space. So we actually start to create a lot of like competitor comparison content that we work with our product marketers on to really showcase this. And like I said, when I start thinking about like SEO and being more than SEO now, we're working with product marketers, we're working with brand marketers to really reflect this. And I would think that maybe this isn't just like a B2B exercise, but you think about it, people are going to be comparing products and everything, and you really to make sure that information is accessible in this area. Another area that I guess search wouldn't have previously touched, we would have captured traffic for it, is actually optimizing your help center and knowledge base. So me and my wife were gifted a Eufy Hoover a few months ago, and it kept getting stuck under the kitchen cabinets, and it didn't return to the base or anything like that. So I asked ChatGPT on my phone, like, how do I get my Eufy G50 to return to its battery base? There was a lot of information just installed in ChatGPT, and yes, that information was accessible online through search, but a lot of people now will be referring to ChatGPT. Everything that was listed, it was incorrect. And I actually found out that it just had no access towards this knowledge base that was listed online. So if you think about it, this is more than SEO. It's more how people are interacting with your products. So something that we've started to investigate is actually people have been asking how to use Frontify in certain instances, and ChatGPT has hallucinating links across the internet. So, for example, it's thinking that our product has certain sections when it doesn't actually exist. So we've been getting a lot of 404 pages across our pages, which isn't a great experience for existing customers, prospects, and the likes. I'd really encourage to search this on Google, but how to track your referral traffic from AI platforms and LLMs. This will give you an understanding of how you can view your 404s from LLM traffic to see if there's any hallucinations. So again, being a lot more than search, I've been working with product marketers to inform that, hang on, we've been getting loads of errors to this page that doesn't actually exist. Can we actually update this content to make sure that it's guiding users through this specific area? Another area that has been quite common across the talks is actually investing in topics and not keywords. I've been thinking this way for a while now, but this post from Kevin Indig really stood out to me, and it's topic first SEO, and it's the smarter way to scale authority. So keyword first SEO, as many people have mentioned in the talks today, is that it starts with a list of keywords. It focuses on search volume and difficulty scores from tools. Internal linking is often a generic and based on the blog, and often results in content overlap, cannibalization, and content bloats as well. And it optimizes for ranking for a few specific phrases. Whereas topic first SEO focuses on building core topics around content systems, use cases, questions, personas of your users, buyers, and also, most importantly, decision makers. And this focuses on the coverage of entities, audience needs, adding information gained to the topic overall, and query diversity as well. It results in stronger topical authority and clear site structure, and it's optimized for earning trust across all core topics related towards your offerings and capturing long-tail queries as well. So making sure that we're visible and consistent with these topic authorities we know is more likely to referenced in generative search, AI, and ChatGPT, etc. So covering your core targeted topics across your persona, invest in zero volume content. A lot of the time we've weighted by these big chunky numbers, think it's going to deliver value, but actually we've started to really investigate what customers are asking and invested in this. Proceeding content within your topic that offers different takes, perspectives, and different perspectives and hot takes. I would say this is quite a key one, because I think search, it's always been like kind of cookie cutter. You would always invest and confirm what other people are thinking. Whereas I think what really stands out in ChatGPT and LLMs now is actually if you provide a newer perspective, you get referenced it and you own that topic, rather than a lot of brands agreeing with you in this specific space as well. And I also think building authority with information gain. So as mentioned today, fresh data that offers unique insights. I have a few slides coming up on how important that is. So we actually track topic coverage. So these big bubbles here are our individual topics that we identify, and we understand by investing in a specific topic and improving that visibility over time, it's more likely to surface across our AI visibilities. So it's not just keywords that we include in this. We track questions, video visibility, every coverage we look to match by a specific topic. So if we want to invest more in digital asset management and make sure our visibility is stronger in there, we associate every content format towards that specific topic and try and increase that coverage with the understanding that it's likely to increase our visibility in that area. Technical issues can sabotage AI visibility. So I've been working with a lot of people at the moment, and they've had issues with ChatGPT understanding information on their website. To this date, ChatGPT can't really render JavaScript. The best bot out there that can render JavaScript successfully is Googlebot. Bingbot's okay, but Googlebot has really advanced technology in this field in terms of how it understands web pages. If you're worried about your reliance on JavaScript, I would use Screaming Frog. You can actually use it for free for, I think, €300 or 150, but crawl your website, see if you can enable it through JavaScript. There's a lot of guides on how you can do that, but just make sure that making sure that your content is discoverable on your website is key. I would also say, as many talks have touched today, is like prioritize keeping content updated. AirOps did this great study around how ChatGPT rewards the freshest content, and a lot of that time it's because it's conducting search and it's making sure that the information it's capturing is in the recent month, the recent year, etc. So I would actually say a lot of time we invested in content and it just kind of went into the bank and we didn't really touch it. We only really signaled it when like ranking started, traffic started dropping off. Whereas I would say now more than ever, you need automated workflows to understand how your content is being updated. Something that we have actually invested in is AirOps to really understand when our content needs to be updated. So we set certain thresholds, like within 3 months, or if we're touching upon this report, it needs to ping us this information so we know we can update that. It's not just a case of adding 2025 to the title tag or anything like that, but actually within our content, what needs to be updated, what needs to be reviewed, and this is automated and sent to our team as well. How do you write for LLM? So you'll see a lot of things that you read through this and actually think that's just practice that we would already do for SEO, but we've amended them slightly within our writer guidelines for Frontify. Obviously, using headings, this is obviously something that searchers are always relied on. So there's nothing new here really. I would actually say that we've been more focused on front-loading answers. So we bring a lot more key insights if we do invest in like a guide or article, thing like that. We make sure we add the key points first, video, etc., and stuff like that, rather than burying the answer. So that's really, really critical. Format content for scalability. So we focus more on like the structure of the content. We avoid like large paragraphs. We actually started to introduce more tables that breaks things down, bullet pointed lists. We really focus on making it really easy for the writer. So as I'm saying this, I think it's not so much different to what we were investing in anyway, but I think it reinforces the point even more so. There was a big focus that people have been speaking recently about like chunking, but what I would say is that we know that writing self-contained paragraphs to create perfect chunks really gets the action quicker in this sense, and LLMs really focus on this as well. So we do add this in anyway, but I'd say it's not something that we were avoiding to begin with. And also weaving trust signals into a content as well. So again, something that has been obviously important within search for years now in terms of experience and trusting for our content. Something that we always try and make sure that we're doing is referencing a point with a specific data set. Ideally, if we have that in-house, or a specific customer that we can reference in terms of how we do that. And again, this is something that's unique to your company, something that you create to become your moat, that I feel like no one else can replicate in that sense. So that makes your content stand more out in LLM visibility. And as mentioned before, we did it with our FAQ pages, but I would actually encourage FAQs are actually a really great way of like targeting a lot of these areas. So if you have content across your website, product pages, use cases, etc., invest in FAQs across your content because it helps you look to target a lot of these as well. Tracking your LLM visibility. Obviously, a lot of platforms out there across there at the moment. We analyze our traffic within GA4 and also HubSpot in terms of the attributions levels side of this. So you can actually see our traffic scale quite considerably. What I would say is, as mentioned before, we had a strong organic footprint, and due to the adoption of ChatGPT, we've seen traffic drive from multiple platforms in this area. And this is purely from people clicking a link within ChatGPT. It's not to say that they'll go away and then conduct a brand search and then go through like a paid campaign, but we try and track those referrals as well. So I would really look to analyze your LLM web traffic, and also most importantly, what pages are driving that traffic at the moment, because you can kind of understand the theme that's driving the value at the moment. Track visibility in tools like PKI. So it was mentioned today. I really like PKI because I'd say it's the most affordable solution on the market at the moment. There's a tool called Profound. So if you understand that a large part of your audience is going through ChatGPT, I would invest in something more like this because it has a larger query expansion, more consistency across like that. You can actually upload personas in your thing, so it acts like your specific target market to your query that people are asking in ChatGPT. So that's profound. But we've been using PKI. We really like the tagging system in that, in terms of we can categorize like brand guidelines, templating, digital asset management, and we track this across ChatGPT, Perplexity, AI overviews, and we use this as a report into our board to understand our visibility across the fold. A lot of the time it is mirroring what we're seeing in search as well. For larger websites, I'd also say analyze your crawl log. So if you've not interacted with a crawl log before, speak to your development agency or your internal development team. They could maybe send you 3 months worth of crawl logs. And there's this Looker Studio report by Roast. So if you search like Roast log file analysis for AI, you should be able to find it. You can plug your log file into this, and you can actually see the likes of ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity actually visiting your website and what content it's picking up. So this is a really good understanding to make sure that your content is surfaced. I would say most of these won't struggle unless you had large JavaScript reliance if you're a smaller website. But if you're a large website, I would really encourage you to explore something like this. Something that since I've been in-house is actually listening to your customer calls to understand how they're discovering you in LLMs. So something that we've actually started to do, we've been fortunate to have gongs, but gong call tracking, but we've actually created a smart tracker so that when our sales team say, how did you learn about front of file, and say, oh, we asked this in ChatGPT, we actually discover the query and the context that they're asking, and we actually bring that to our tracking as well. So there's actually been so much like invaluable data that we've been brought to our tracking and even our content initiative. So beyond like LLM tracking, this has been a key way for us to understand how the content initiatives that we're investing in and how much we should be setting this up. So really understand how your customers or prospects are asking are in these platforms, I think is key. You can also use self-attribution as well. So a lot of the time within HubSpot, you can understand if people say, how did you hear about us? They often mention like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Copilot, etc. Sometimes they provide a little bit more context, but I'd review the landing pages that they're coming in through to understand where you can look to invest moving forward. Another area I think is key, and something that searchers like maybe we didn't really want to be with, is like investing in commercial enablement content. So I actually brought to the table like investing in competitor comparison pages. Something that we like built most recently is like why brands switch to Frontify and how to make the move. And it's because people are going to be asking these questions, and these is going to be more important than top of the funnel. It's actually people understanding the brand. And like I said, at the moment, we'll be relying on the web index to answer these questions, but actually we have a home for this information. And what we've put in here is a specific guide on why brands switch from our competitors to Frontify and what the value in that is. And there's so much information to like provide to the likes of ChatGPT to actually inform people that when they're conducting their research, their discovery, their briefs into ChatGPT, we're able to give them specific answers and control that narrative as well. And like I said, we never cared about this before. We didn't touch this product marketing so much. And I think it's a really interesting area, and we can actually see the value coming into the company from this. So I would actually mention before, as mentioned before in one of the talks, start asking LLM questions around your brand. Is it factually correct? Do you need to control that narrative through content that you can look to position elsewhere? Start asking about the pricing. We actually found that we had inconsistent pricing because someone posted on like an Amazon web forum that we were this certain price, and it was about 10 years ago, and it started referencing that. So we created some updates around our content to specifically reflect that, and it started to update within ChatGPT. So start asking it around the pricing, benefits, and capture the sources, most importantly, that are feeding this information. So yeah, a new age of discovery is happening. Gain the first mover advantage. I've been Edd Wilson. I'm an organic growth consultant for startup brands. And yeah, thank you for coming today.